All right, we got this video here. Matt Walsh says, America first, America only.
What we want is for someone to unashamedly and single-mindedly advocate for Americans and Americans only. We want someone to say, you know, the only thing I care about is helping Americans. The only people I care about in the world are Americans. And we don't want to just hear that, but we want to see the action taken as well. You know, I've seen some people on social media say, hey, it's America first, but not America only.
Is this real? Is this a Nick Fuentes deep fake? Here, let's take it line by line, okay?
What we want is for someone to unashamedly and single-mindedly advocate for Americans and Americans only. We want someone to say, you know, the only thing I care about is helping Americans. The only people I care about in the world are Americans. And we don't want to just hear that, but we want to see the action taken as well.
Well, from a political standpoint, obviously, like, you know, family and stuff, but...
And we don't want to just hear that, but we want to see the action taken as well. You know, I've seen some people on social media say...
Family and God, obviously, but, you know, those are without saying.
Hear that, but we want to see the action taken as well. You know, I've seen some people on social media say, hey, it's America first, but not America only.
So here's where I have a little bit of a thing. So I agree with that, like, at face value, right? So, like, that it shouldn't be America first. It should be America only. I agree with that in general. That, like, so what I think the argument would be that some people would bring up, and I think I would also kind of bring up this argument, is that I'm okay with helping other people in the context that it helps us. But in the end, it's still America only. Does that make sense? So the overall gist of it is that if it would actually be better, so if like scenario A is only help America and it has a result of like 90, okay, like, you know, obviously, like, it's hard, you can't quantify it. So like in my example, I would have to quantify it like in a literal sense. So let's just say like America first would give us a score of 90, as in like 90 being like the overall score of America and like everything. But then like if we help an allied country, it would make us 95 for the people of America, not like world perception or whatever. I don't really give a fuck about that. But what I mean is like if the everyday American, their quality of life increases because we helped another country who's like an ally to us, and like, you know, by working with their country, like we would do better, then I would agree that that would still be America first. Does that make sense? But like, I wouldn't really agree with it in terms of like, well, this other country has the same beliefs as us, so like I care about them. Like I don't really. Does that make sense? Only if it helps, only if it's good for us, basically. Like if we have to go at personal cost to like help a country for like no reason, I just don't understand that. Like I don't get it.
I disagree.
I don't really believe in like America world charity. Does that make sense? I'm not like a fan of, I'm not a fan of that.
It is America only. It's like I said months ago, I consider myself an American chauvinist. America first, America only, I'm an American chauvinist. I don't care about it. This is the only thing I care about. America should be the only thing you care about, especially as a leader of the country.
Yeah, and I think that last part is especially important, is that the leader of the country should not have the interests of other countries anywhere near the same tier priority as America, right? And I think that's the part that's like really pisses people off, is like knowing that we have all of this like social issues in America, because like social unrest, we've got Americans hating each other, like almost like to a level of like a national divorce of like people just don't want anything to do with like their fellow Americans anymore, right? And we have that kind of a problem. And yet people are like, well, what about the rest of the world? We got to be like world police and we got to like give everyone free shit. And it's like, what the fuck, bro? What? Like, how about we fix our problems first? How about we put on our mask first? And then maybe when we're so overwhelmingly like in a good spot, then maybe we can think about helping other people. It's so weird to me that a leader of like the country would have other interests before ours, basically. Honest Blood says, I'm staying out of this one, I'm Australian. Well, I mean, the same applies to Australia too, Honest Blood. In that I would expect Australia to fight for Australians, right? So like for instance, like if America is like, yo, or if any country is going to do like some kind of trade thing, I would expect the Australian leader to be like, I'm going to get the best deal I can for my people. Does that make sense? Like, I don't expect Australia to be like, yo, we're going to give some money to like some random countries because, you know, charity. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like if things were fucked up in Australia, I would not expect the leaders of Australia to be worrying about other people. Yeah. And I think this applies to every single country, right? Like, obviously, Mexico should be fighting for Mexico's self-interest. Canada should be fighting for Canada's self-interest. Every country should be doing that. The leaders of those countries should be serving the people of those countries, not some foreign interests, not some world government shit. You know what I mean? That's my point. We are subsidizing Africa's growth. Like, you want to know a good example? And like, I don't know too much about this, so like, I might actually be wrong. So I'm kind of throwing it out there just based on what I've heard, what I know, and what I've heard of the situation. Yeah, so what I've heard of the situation. So there might be some facts I'm not 100% like, again, I'm not an expert in this topic, but a good example is like giving the Panama Canal back. Like, why the fuck would we do that? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why? Why? You mean like we built this thing and you're like just gonna give it back? Just for what reason? Oh, like to be nice? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense. The US is the worst at being an empire. It gave away everything. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, they followed our policies on a number of things. Well, yeah, and I mean, like again, I don't think it's necessarily like a, if you help anyone with anything, that's awful. I don't think that's true. But like the instant like something is not in America's interest, we should be like, what the fuck, bro? You know what I mean? Like, say like we're helping a country a bunch, right? And then that country basically like say we're helping somebody out like a lot, and then they are like, you know, actually fuck you, America. Then I would expect the American leader to be like, oh, okay, so that's how it's gonna be. Okay, well, how about you suck our fucking dicks then? You know what I mean? Like, I would expect them to actually fight and not be like, oh, you know, it's okay. Like, you know, you disagree with us this time. Like, no, bro, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, basically, my point is every action that we take should be in the interests of Americans. No matter how you write that in like your, whatever the calculus is there, like whatever the equations that they came up with that arrives to the conclusion and like, this is what we're going to do, that what we should do should always go back to a calculation of it being good for America. I don't really give a shit about like helping other countries for free. Does that make sense? And again, like I'm not trying to say like fuck you to Europe. I'm not saying like, wow, you're from the EU, fuck you. Oh, you're from France, fuck you. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is your leaders should do literally the same thing. That's what I'm saying. Your leaders should be like, I care about France the most. I care about this the most. I care about that. It shouldn't be about like, well, but that country over there is having a hard time, so we need to let a lot of people in here that have nothing to do with us. Like, what the fuck? That doesn't even make any sense. How is that good for us? How is it good for us to take in a bunch of people, unvetted, that don't have anything to do with our culture? It's fucking insanity. That's my point. And France should do the same thing. EU should do the same thing. All of the countries should do the same thing. North Korea should do the same thing. It's like blaming Musk for 600K deaths from the lack of US aid and not their countries failing them. Yes, exactly. It's not our problem. And I know it sounds kind of bad, but put it this way. If you feed a man a fish, you feed them for like one day. If you teach them to fish, you feed them for life, right? You know, the saying, we shouldn't really be giving them like constant shit. I think it's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. And it's not like same energy. What is this?
People.
Same energy. Let's see it.
People. As the adage says, you give a poor man a fish and you feed him for a day. You teach him to fish. You give him and
Fuck you, Julio.